And a good evening. Hey. Welcome out to the patio here at the Sheila Humphrey Rec Center on the campus of Lamar University. We are talking Lamar University football. It is the Coach Pete Rossomando show. How about that finish in Commerce? How about that? Cardinals win it 33-23. Yeah, that last touchdown counted, and Coach and I were talking about this just before we went on the air. You know, Miles saying it's not how you start, how you finish. Lamar never led in that ball game till there were 14 seconds to go.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that real quick before we get into the meat of the game. With 14 seconds to go, you kicked a field goal to tie the game at 23.
Yeah.
And do you take points off the board? Do you not take points off the board? You took the points off the board, and Aiden hit Kendon with 3 seconds left for the winner. Talk about the thought process going into that.
Well, I mean, I thought that with the personal foul, we'd still have two opportunities to at least take a shot at the end zone, and we did. We got two opportunities and still had 3 seconds left on the clock to kick a field goal if need be. And, that was really what it went in. And really at that point, it was more about, hey, we need to go win this game because, we get into overtime and it's probably not going to be pretty.
What did you talk to Aiden about before going out there? I thought he obviously that first down smart, comes out, throws it away. He knew he didn't have a receiver. He threw it away, knowing he had one more play, and you throw that one away, then you come back out with the field goal. What did you talk about before he went out there for that first down?
Well, we just be smart with the ball. It was a one-man route, and they double covered Isaiah Jones as they should because he played really, really, really well in the game. And we just said, hey, throw it out of bounds if you don't like it. He didn't like it. He threw it out of bounds. We had another opportunity, and then we noticed the coverage they played, and they left Devin and Kendon man-to-man in the middle of the field. So we said, I brought Aiden over, and I said, hey, this is the play we're going to call. And if they play man-to-man, then Kendon's the guy you want to go to in the one-on-one situation. And they did. They played the exact same coverage, and we scored. So,
speaking of that, I don't know how much you play into this. I know we're only midway through the season, but this morning, senior receiver Kendon Fusilier has been named a Phil Steele mid-season All-American. That announcement today from the Nederland native has received second team honors as part of the return. I know it's mid-season, but it's still pretty cool to see him get that recognition.
Yeah, I mean, it just means that he's playing well, and that those things mean nothing, and he knows that, and that's the thing I love about Kenan the most is that will never change the way he operates, never change the way he comes to work every day, and not a lot of kids his age can do that, and he's able to do that just because I think he holds himself to an incredibly high standard. So it's fun to watch him go out and practice every day. You go back and you look at the numbers after each practice, and he's always got the most sprint distance, always has the most player load, always has the fastest time. So it's always just great to watch his numbers every day. It's just it's so impressive.
Now, Ronnie Hamrick, who actually scored the extra touchdown to give you the extra 6 points, that's special teams. So this doesn't play in anything on his honors this week. But he is the Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week. He had 7 tackles, including 3 solos.
Yeah, I mean, there were 2 games going on in the conference, so, I mean, obviously it was slim pickings. But I think Ronnie's played way better than that. I think Ronnie played a great game. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's played way better. But anytime our guys can get recognized at Lamar, we can get our name out there, it's always good to see. And proud of Ronnie because he's done a lot of work here, and he's been an incredible leader for our football team.
Peyton Christian get the strip and scoop and score. How about that? Big number 3 getting in the end zone.
Yeah, he's been talking a lot of smack to some offensive guys who've got no touchdowns yet, and it's actually been pretty funny.
Let him know he has more. He's been in the end zone more than they have.
More than they have. It's been a funny week around the facility for sure. Because Peyton, I don't know if you know him, but he's a fun-loving guy. So it's funny to see that happen.
A lot of fun right now. By the way, the Cardinals move up a little bit from 20 to number 17 in this week's national poll. Good to see that.
Yeah,
I know.
You're about those things.
Yeah, I know, but still,
we have so much improvement to do as a football team. that we can't if we focus on any of that stuff, we're not a smart bunch of guys. So we really got to focus on improving and getting better in certain aspects on both sides of the ball and on special teams. And that's really our focus every week, is to take what we did last week, try to build on it, and get a little bit better the next weeks when we get out on that field. And we've got a good team coming to town, and a team that's receiving votes, and one of those guys that they're going to be ready to play, and they've had a week off to prepare for the Cardinals, and they're not going to be intimidated coming to our place. I know that, so we got to be ready.
Let's talk about QB1, Aiden McCown. His numbers on Saturday, he threw for 285 yards, that one touchdown to Kendon in the closing seconds. Just talk about his progression week by week. He's been in there since week 3.
Good. I think each week he's been improving. I think that 71% completion percentage is good. I think that puts us in a really good spot. As far as making sure we can matriculate the ball. Teams are so focused on our run game. They're putting 8, 9 guys in the box. They are focused in taking away our run game. So you have to have the ability to pass the ball, and he's been able to give us that. As Robert went down, that was a moment of uncertainty for our program, certainly, because Robert, he's been the starter for 2 years, and Aiden has done a really good job of continuing to improve each week, of learning from his mistakes, of obviously he turns the ball over the first drive, running for a first down. They return it for a touchdown. That's never the way you want to start. Those are the things that I think he's avoided up until this point. So he needs to continue to improve on that.
Want to talk about Robert Coleman. Robert suited out on Saturday there if he was needed. And I talked to you about this earlier this week during your weekly press conference out on at the Dolphin Center. Looked like he was raring and ready to go. And also on the other side, what I liked about him, every time your offensive team came over to the sideline before they went out, he was in that huddle, cheering on Aiden, supporting Aiden, and just watch him on the sideline is something.
Yeah, you're never going to get a better teammate than Rob Coleman. I mean, he's a great teammate. He's a guy that loves the guys that he's with. He supports all of them. Doesn't matter what position you play. So you're never going to have a problem with Robert on that. And he's ready to go. He got cleared today, so he's good to go. He'll be available this weekend. We're excited to have him back, and obviously, he's a team captain for 2 years, so gives us another really strong leader that's ready to play.
On the defensive side, we talked about Ronnie being the Southland Conference's defensive player of the week, but another great night by Christian Pugh. 12 tackles, including 7 unassisted. Yeah, 7 solo tackles, and a lot of that time you see somebody in the secondary making a lot of tackles is probably not that good because, the running back or whatever it may be gets beyond the line. He's coming up to the line and making great plays.
Yeah, that's not our defense. It's not that. Our safeties are involved in the run fit. They're up there and doing their thing in the tackling. They're playing like linebackers a lot. So, I don't think that's going to be the case at all. And then C.J. Miller played outstanding. I mean, he had a big sack on that last drive to get us the ball back in a great field position. So those 3 guys really played at an extremely high level for us, and it really held them. They had 1 touchdown on the day. Yeah. 1 touchdown drive. Everything else was field goals. And
they had a defensive score. One time,
and we had a defensive score.
Right, so
what we also had, that's 3 years in a row we scored a defensive touchdown against East Texas. So believe it or not. So we started in 23. We had 2 that day. One by I think Jalen Freeman, and the other by who was our safety from transfer from Brown. He had a touchdown, and then last year we had Jalen, my man from Lindell. Defensive lineman. He scored for us in that game as well. So we've had 3 years in a row defensive touchdowns. So
CJ again double-digit tackles. He had 10 tackles on the day, and special teams. Let's talk about them a little bit. Ben, Mr. Automatic, unfortunately missed a field goal. You just don't see that from him. and then you decided a fake field goal.
We did.
Talk about the decision on that, and unfortunately that play didn't work out.
It didn't work out. It would have been a brilliant call, but instead it was a horrendous call by me. So
yeah, but if we complete that pass, you're a hero.
Yeah, but it didn't. So we didn't. So I'm not a hero. I'm a GOAT. So no, we just we saw some formations from them that we thought we were going to take advantage of, and then we came out from a timeout and they weren't in that. And I didn't give Mason Stallings the ability to check out of it, and he knew he should have. But that's just him doing what we told him to do. So that's 100% coaching, nothing to do with the players. They executed it very, very well. Just one there.
We talk about Christian, we talk about CJ, Ronnie, Jaden, the guys we look in the stat sheet and we see the numbers, and that's what everybody focuses on. But talk about some of those guys on the defense where they had a big impact, but you're not going to see it on a stat sheet.
I mean, Paul Amodia played his best game as a Cardinal. He's only been here this year, 6 games, and he played his best game. And, just like any other corners, like a left tackle, you don't know anything about him unless they give up a big play. And he didn't give up any big plays, and he contested throws. And, Jourdain, who's their best receiver, he kind of kept him in check most of the day. Yeah, he did have 1 or 2 big catches, but Paul did a really good job of contesting them, getting them down on the ground when he had a chance to tackle them, and played really well for us, in the secondary. So, and him and Zaylen Stoker, another corner that, has been playing spot time, played a lot of minutes on Saturday, played really well, and hopefully continue. He's just a redshirt freshman, so hopefully he continues. He's 6'2" corner, so both those guys are big guys, long guys, and we need those guys to play well.
We do have a lot of veterans on this team, but let's talk about that real quick. Some of the younger guys that are making an impact right now.
Yeah, I mean, LaDainian McDowell, obviously. Blake Thomas, two huge catches on Saturday, continues to impress. From the wide receiver position, I think Tyler Bonkowski at tight end has played a whole bunch. Morgan Sampson's played a bunch at tight end. So I think a lot of guys have played on the offensive side. Obviously, Aiden's a young guy playing quarterback. I think he's playing well. Stoker on defense, Nick Brown on special teams playing really, really well for us. So I think a lot of these young guys are starting to step. C.J. Miller's only a sophomore. So we've got a lot of guys. E.J. McKinney playing inside linebacker. Again, another redshirt freshman playing really well for us. So I think there's a lot of guys that are out there that are young, starting to really, really play well and really help us become a really good football team.
Another guy, Joshua Robinson, he actually got the start
Yeah.
For you. Talk about his progression. And that running back room, we've talked about this week in and week out, there's a lot of chairs in that running back room, a lot of guys that contribute.
Yeah, I mean, J-Rob's been really good for us. He's not only been great running back, but he's been really good on special teams and really unselfish, great teammate. Love having J-Rob around. It's really good to see him come around in his running back role because I know, all these guys think those roles are so important. I don't think they realize how important their special teams roles and their leadership roles are on the team. But it's good to see him having success because he's a great guy. He's a great person to have on our team. He's one of the transfers that you bring in and you say, man, that guy's made a difference in your program as a person, not only as a football player.
I'll tell you what, there was a lot of red and white in the stands. Of course, we do have a lot of East Texas players. We do have a lot of players from the Metroplex, and several fans drove up from right here in the Golden Triangle. I mean, I'm sure those East Texas A&M fans are looking across the way and they see a sea of red across the way. It was impressive, the crowd that the Cardinals had up there on Saturday night.
Yeah, they had to come match our red helmets. They were.
Those are sharp, by the way. Yeah. Do y'all like those uniforms? The red helmets, white and red. Yeah.
Yeah, the red helmets are something different. We got red, white, and black now, so we've got all the colors handled. So for sure, and our equipment staff and Lucas Dollinger and those guys do an unbelievable job putting our guys out there in the very, very best that Under Armour has for us. So. Really impressed with the way they put those things together.
And the crowd, they were loud. They got
awesome.
into it.
Yeah, they were great, and we could hear them too. Like when we faked the field goal, I mean, you can hear them, coaching from the stands, which is always fun.
Well, at home, somebody coaches from the flight deck.
Is that Hanky?
Yeah, right there, right over there. Homecoming 2025 bonfire last night.
Yeah.
So how'd that go?
It went good. I was preparing for UTRGV, so I didn't get to go out. But we do have some dignitaries here today. We got the Montaigne Center namesake, David Montaigne
out here.
And then, we got Mike Hambrick, assistant to the president over there. So we got some dignitaries in the house.
Yeah, well.
So you know it's homecoming. And then you got your Silver Bullet gang. Right, ready to go. I can't even imagine what Saturday's going to look like over there. So.
Oh, you could imagine. Yeah, it's going to happen.
I can imagine. I'm glad I'm not going to be there. I know.
All right. Would there be in homecoming any distractions at all for the players, or is it business? I mean, obviously you got to have it as business as usual, but it is homecoming. Any distractions at all?
These are 18 to 22-year-old kids. There's always distractions. It
well,
doesn't matter what coming it is. There's always going to be a distraction. So we just prepare for it and we move on. That's just the way it is. And it's exciting to be playing in homecoming, and don't think our guys don't remember last year not coming up with the victory. Trust me, they do, and they're looking to make it right. And they know they got a really good team coming to town. And we haven't played well. Be honest with you, I don't think we played great last week, and they don't think we did. And, we got a lot of stuff to prove. And, a lot of people talking about a lot of different things, but the most important thing is what you do on the field and how you prepare. Right. And, we had to get better from a week ago till today, and, that's been the focus all week. So we'll see tomorrow if we can finish the week out the right way.
UTRGV first-year program, what are they going to show us offensively?
Well, everything runs through the quarterback. Marburger, really good player, UTSA transfer, good out of the pocket, really good thrower out of the pocket, creates, runs really well, scores a lot of touchdowns, highly rated. So I think that, our defense is going to have their hands full keeping that guy contained and making sure that stuff, doesn't get out there. And then they got two outstanding receivers, number 4 and number 14. Both guys can really play. 14's a little longer. 4's a little more of a slot type of guy. But, man, both guys make plays. Their running back is sneaky fast. He's bigger than you would think. He's probably about 205 pounds and runs pretty good. And, their O-line does a really good job in the scheme that they use. And I think they're really well coached. You watch them. They have plans. They understand what they're supposed to do versus coverages versus fronts. And, they're a good offense. They're a really, really good offense. And we're going to have to do a good job of keeping the quarterback in the pocket because if he gets out, man, he can create some plays down the field.
You think first-year program, you think they got a lot of youngsters on that team with hardly any experience. But these days and times, that's not the case. They've got a lot of transfers, so they have experience. They have kids going on the field with college experience.
Yeah, I mean, I did what Coach Bush is doing. When I was at New Haven, we started from nothing. We practiced one year, came out the next year. And, man, we were hoping so badly that people took us lightly, because – we knew we were way better than anyone thought we were. We had a quarterback that transferred from Louisville. We had running backs from transfers from all over the place, big old linemen, defensive players. So we had really good players, and he's doing the exact same thing. And he's got that team playing well, playing with a lot of confidence, and I give him a lot of credit. And I know we're going to have our hands full on Saturday, but it's good. That's what kind of game our fans deserve, and they deserve a great opportunity on homecoming to come out there and cheer their team on.
You talked about their offense. They've put up a lot of points this year.
They have. They scored 80 against somebody. And, again, I don't care who it is. You can say that, this team, I don't care who it is. You score 80 points, you're executing at a pretty high level.
On the defensive side of the ball, what will they show you?
They're pretty multiple 4-down fronts. They actually got a defensive end, Ian Box, that played here after he was here my first year here. So I think they're multiple. They do a lot of one-man pressures from the secondary and from the internal linebacker group. So you're going to see a lot of different looks from them defensively as far as how they pressure the quarterback and pressure the run game. So, again, we have to be dialed into our techniques, be really dialed into our scheme, and make sure we can execute at a high level and make sure when we have chances to make big plays, we got to make them because anyone that's had success against them, which is really only Sela, they've had to make big plays.
Looking at the conference standings, and you look at the standings sitting atop the conference according to the overall records, along with the 2-0. You have Lamar at 2-0, SFA and Southeastern Louisiana both 2-0 as well.
Alphabetical order.
Yeah. Well, that too. Well, no, because among the leaders, no, we do it. Yeah. Anyway, but UTRGV they've got to win. They went on the road, and no, they do have a conference win.
Yeah, they beat Houston Christian at home.
At home. I was thinking Northwest
27-7. Played well, and they had a week off to prepare. So coming off an off week and if I was to play us, I'd want to have an off week before. And the reason is we do so much stuff on offense and defense schematically that you got to have some time to prepare. And so they're going to have a leg up. So we gotta make sure we come and bring our best stuff. And again, I don't think we played well last week. And I think we need to continue to get better. It's really important for us to do that.
Speaking of bringing your best, we need to bring the best crowd. We have got to get
we want to get 10,000
out there or more.
10,000,
get the word out.
Right. Let's fill the stadium. Come on, 10,000 people in Southeast Texas. We'll have more than that at P&G on Friday night. So
we need to do better than that.
We got to get them here. Come on,
we do. And I've seen yard signs out, all kinds of through social media. The word's out, so now we got to get the fans out. And I'm anticipating a good crowd out there on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that meeting with a lot of alums when I got here, one of the things they wanted to see the most was progress. Let's see progress first, and then we'll jump up. Well, now, if you haven't seen progress, I don't know what you're looking at. So come on out and cheer your team on, man. This is your team. This is your university. We represent Southeast Texas. So come on out here and get out here. And we love it. And we love Southeast Texas. We're in the community. We eat the food. We meet the people. Get out there and cheer on your Cardinals because they're going to need it on Saturday.
And I liked how you said that because it couldn't be more true. You said Southeast Texas, not just Beaumont. This is Southeast Texas, Division I football team that's 5-1 right now, ranked number 17 in the country.
Yeah, that's right.
Last week, the previous 15 years, we've been at different establishments. So we appreciate them for hosting, but we really love it out here on campus. That's really cool to be out here.
Yeah, it's good. I don't have to run out and run back, so it's always good. I'm right here.
That's exactly why we did it. We said we need to figure this out. What makes it easy for Coach Rossomando?
Yeah, well, we got to score some points somehow. So
there you go. Hey, whether it's 3-0 or 20-0, as long as Lamar has more points.
You got to have one more point. At least that's what they tell me. You got to have one more point than your opponent. So if you do that, then you get the win. So.
And we've done that 5 times already this year.
Yeah. And I grew up a Giants fan. I remember when the Giants won the Super Bowl in it was 1994. No, 1990 they won.
Yeah, they beat Buffalo.
But every score that year was by like 3 points, 3 points, 6 points, 4 points, 2 points.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I learned. So
a lot of Buffalo fans remember the name Scott Norwood.
Yeah, they
missed that field goal. So, but got back late. After that's Matt Krause and I rolled in about 2:45 in the morning, and I know you guys were behind us a little bit.
Yeah, we were 3:30. We rolled in, and I don't understand the 6 o'clock game times. To me, it's mind-boggling when you got a 5-hour trip. That should play into it as far as I'm concerned, because that's not student-athlete welfare. That doesn't factor into any of that stuff. So they can talk about it, but it ain't true, because you're going to put a student on a bus after a game for 5 hours. And they get home at 3:30 in the morning. That's not good student welfare. So
but at that age you can sleep on a bus better than us old guys can.
Yeah, I slept about 25 minutes on the bus. That's about it. But it's not only that. I mean, they feel it too. Their bodies get beat up. So
the only time I slept is when Matt let me drive. When I was driving, that's the only time I slept. But by the way, Matt, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I got to. Hello to our friendly roadside officer up there in Zavala on the way up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the speed limit goes from 75 to 65 just like that, nonetheless. But a good trip up to Commerce against East Texas A&M with UTRGV coming in this weekend. I know you're concerned about Lamar and now UTRGV on Saturday, but have you had a chance to look at the rest of the conference and what you think of it so far and how the Southland's playing?
I mean, I see crossover games. We saw Houston Christian versus UTRGV. We saw Southeastern against them. Yeah, I mean, it looks strong. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of really good teams. Obviously, the team we're playing this week, but I think Houston Christian's got a heck of a team. They got a lot of talented guys on defense, and I think that Southeastern's got a really good team as well. So I think, as I'm looking at it and we start to cross over with people, saw East Texas obviously last week, and I think they got some really good talented players, and they play really hard, and I think that's going to give them an opportunity to win some games.
Going up there and on the trip up, you guys left on Friday.
Yeah.
Did you stop for a walkthrough or did you drive straight through?
No. We practiced here, and then we got on the bus around noon, and we drove up and got to the hotel about 5 o'clock, and had dinner and had meetings and did all that stuff. And we stayed in a beautiful hotel right on the lake in Rockwall. It was beautiful, and our players really appreciated that. For Joe Person, who's our director of operations, did an unbelievable job, him and his staff, of making sure we had the utmost accommodation. So really impressed.
About 2 hours, 15 minutes got to stay there. I know you got there, and and I talked to you on the field a little bit. When you go on the road, do you like going on the field? What's your routine for a road game when you first get there? A lot of times at home it's easy, a little easier because you're in your own office and you're in your coach's office and all that. But on the road, especially when you're in a locker room the size that you were in.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but we have probably one of the greatest facilities in FCS. So when we're home, we have really good accommodations, and we have great accommodations for our visitors. We don't get that on the road. I think there's two places that really do a good job with the road locker rooms, and so I like to get there 2 hours before because I don't want to sit in those locker rooms. I mean, the one we were in this weekend had no ventilation. The coaches were in literally a closet the size of this table without any walls or anything. It was just studs and dirt on the floor. And so we really just get there, put our stuff down, and head out to the field and let the players have most of the space because they're the ones that got to get dressed. They're the ones that got to get ready. We just go out to the field, we get focused on our game plan and talk about it, and that's kind of how it goes. But 2 hours and 20 minutes is usually before game times when we like to arrive and gives guys time to get warmed up, get loose before the first group gets out there.
And what I really like, and I've seen video of this probably 3 times on Facebook over the past few weeks, singing that school song at the end of the game in the locker room.
Oh, yeah. It's you win and you sing, and that's what we do. And, I think our guys love it. And, again, like I said in our press conference on Monday is, we had a lot of guys in that locker room, Kindon and Isaiah Jones and
Major.
And that didn't sing that song a whole bunch before I got here. So they sung it a lot, and they've sung it a lot this year, and they never take it for granted. And that's what I love about those guys is every time they get to sing it, man, it's special. And when we're home, we get to go to the band, and they play this alma mater. And
they kind of pepped that up a little bit.
They did, yeah. I think Dr. Taylor and his staff, man, they wanted a little something going up there, so they got it going. Our guys like it a lot better.
That's pretty cool. Pete Rossomando have the Homecoming 2025 coming up on Saturday. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff, full week of festivities. Started off with a bonfire last night out here on campus. And for the football team and your coaching staff, you've got a football game.
Yeah,
the homecoming's great. Love it. Love the alumni coming back. We love the former players coming back. But there's a job to be done on a football field.
Yeah, and if you're a former player, you know that. So you don't really get involved too much with the guys, and you let them go do their thing. But I think that it's great to have that level of excitement, and that energy is different on homecoming always, everywhere I've ever been, and it's going to be different. And that Cardinal walk is going to be it's going to be really exciting this week. So
also Hall of Honor weekend, some former athletes, Lamar going into the Lamar Hall of Honor on Saturday morning, and that's always pretty cool too because they will be recognized at halftime. So that's cool. a lot of fun. So. We have any recruits in town this weekend?
Yeah, we have a few. Yeah, we got a few. Got a few coming in. Can't talk about them.
Well, I know you can't talk about them. You can look down on the field and see them during warm-ups. Yeah. Are they allowed? How many, say a young man is going to North Shore? How many times can he come to make an official visit and come to a game? Just once?
He can come to as many games as he wants, but he can't come officially. One time he can come. That's it. So we pay the expenses and things of that nature.
But he can come buy a ticket anytime else.
Well, we can give him a ticket. He can come here on his own dime.
Yeah.
We can
he can travel. He
can travel on his own dime, but for us to pay for travel and all that one time.
Wrap it up again. We have about 9 minutes to go here. Let's recap some of the stuff we talked about a little bit earlier in the show. In case you're just joining us, Cardinals get that crazy finish, 33-23 over East Texas A&M after the Cardinals scored to go up 27-23. During that kickoff, what do you talk about? Because us older folks remember Stanford Cal.
Yeah.
Several years ago.
Yeah.
The band's on the field.
Yeah.
That game. But in a situation like that, the game's all but over, but you still got to kick off to them with 3 seconds left.
Yeah, I think what we wanted to do was put the ball on the ground so that as soon as they touched it, the clock would start. Mm-hmm. The last thing you want is for them to catch the ball and there's still time on the clock once they hit the ground, because then they can possibly throw a Hail Mary, do lateral plays. So what we did was we told them, everyone has to stay in your lane. And that's where Ronnie was on the backside of the play, and he was just containing the widest guy for us. And, again, Ronnie's been doing this. This is his 5th year playing. He's really smart. He's really cunning. He knows exactly what he's supposed to do. He was right there. They threw the ball across the field. He picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown. So, that's really what you tell them. Stay in your lanes. Make sure everybody stays disciplined. If you have a chance to tackle the ball carrier, do it. Get him on the ground, and that's what was happening. Someone was tackling the ball carrier. He just flung it back, and Ronnie picked it up and scored.
Easy score.
Yeah, for him. He was like, wow. He's like, did that really count? And they were like, yeah, all right, let's go. So,
I wouldn't know because, as Matt and I noticed right away, 3 seconds after Ronnie gets into the end zone, I look up and the scoreboard goes off. They said they didn't want him to see that final score that Lamar just won, so they shut their scoreboard off, shut it off. We don't care. Cardinals still get the win.
Yeah, right.
That's all that matters there.
Can't
change the score.
Yeah.
It even made ESPN. We won't get into that too much, but it did make ESPN highlights that last minute or so. But on the kick itself, did Ben what he's supposed to do?
He actually kicked a really good ball. Yeah. We were really impressed. It bounced a few times. It hit a big bounce. It went by the guy. He had to go back and get it. So anytime that happens, clock's down, we just got to get him on the ground, and that's what we were able to do. And it worked out for our advantage, yeah, for sure.
And looking at the highlights, the replays of it, what I really liked about it, with your special teams coverage downfield, there were more Lamar guys around that ball than there were East Texas A&M guys. So you guys had them boxed in.
Well, you can only throw it backwards. You know what I mean? So their guys can be as far up the field as you want. They can't receive receive it.
They mean nothing.
So we just gotta make sure we tackle the ball.
News Talk 560 KLVI again. Homecoming coming up on Saturday against UTRGV, and then on to Northwestern State. Down to the home stretch where we've already. Can you believe? We've already played 6 games.
Yeah, I know. It's mid-season. And, speaking of home, Nick Costa, the New Jersey guys down home listening in New Jersey, listening to the radio show.
So does he send you coaching tips too?
He tries. I know. Yeah, he tries. Nick coached forever, so he knows ball. It's just, again, everyone's trying to coach. Everyone's trying to coach the team, not just Nick. So we got fans, we got family members. Everyone's trying to coach the team. So
radio guy does not, because the radio guy knows all that stuff. Radio guy goes, I would have done that.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool on the KLVI iHeart Radio app, and tell the kids this when they come on with us if they're out of the region. Yeah. Hey, contact your parents. They can listen to you on the KLVI iHeart Radio app, and that's pretty cool because
life has changed.
Remember
when you used to have to put the rabbit ears out there and listen to a radio station?
Yeah,
but now you don't have to do that, so it's really pretty cool.
All right, a little bit about how healthy you are right now. We talked about Robert Coleman and how he's suited out. He's been cleared. How are you going to work him possibly back onto the field?
Right now he's got to get himself ready to play because he just got cleared, so he's got to get himself ready to play.
He's got to get game ready,
and that's the most important thing. And then we'll just discuss it as a staff and see how we're gonna move forward with that. So I'm not going to give anybody any information that they don't need right now. But
That's understandable.
I think that we're about as healthy as most teams are at the midpoint of the season. I think we're healthier than a lot of teams, which is great. We got great training staff, and we got an unbelievable performance staff. So our guys are good, and we're getting guys back. Royce Malalas didn't play last week. Just had an ankle injury and kind of practiced most of the week, and then just really couldn't get going in pregame. So we sat him out. He didn't play, and he'll be back this week. He had a good day of practice today, so feel good about him coming back on the defensive side of the ball. Pretty much everybody else is healthy and back, and we're doing really well as far as injuries go. So we just got to keep them all healthy this week.
Looking at possession on Saturday, pretty well balanced. You're right at 31. They're right under 29. So about balanced. And penalties, I thought you guys did better this week.
We've been doing pretty good all year. I think on penalties, we're one of the most least penalized team, which is not usually the case. Last year, we were the most penalized team in the conference, so I think we're doing a better job with that. And guys are focusing on the little details, which always makes it easier to avoid penalties.
All right, as always, we got about 2.5 minutes to go after you take these headsets off and we wrap up the show. Tell us what happens between right now and 3 o'clock when the ball goes on the tee Saturday afternoon.
I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight. That's the most important thing. But
did you sleep on the bus?
No, absolutely not. No, we're gonna have a huge practice tomorrow. A lot at stake. We got to get out there and really have a good day and make sure that we crisp up the things that are important in the game plan to win. And then Friday, we give them an extended period of time off, and they come in at 2 o'clock Friday afternoon. We do our walkthroughs, we do our meetings, we get out there and have a team dinner, and really excited about that. And then we have, Saturday we got meetings in the morning. We go over to the dining hall, Brooks Shriver, and we get some grub from Chartwell's. They do a great job for us putting together a pregame meal, and then we got Cardinal Walk 12:15. So come on out and line the street all the way down to the facility, and cheer the guys on. Going into battle. So that's really a great time for us.
That's not only a lot of fun for the players, but the coaches as well. Get to walk through the fans on the way to the stadium.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. And like I said, that was, Dr. Titus and student engagement has done an amazing job of getting our students back engaged in athletics, and, having them out there and having our sororities and our fraternities out there cheering us on. And, man, it's just great to have a great community here cheering on Lamar. And we just need our alums to come back. I know we got more alums in Southeast Texas than any other school, and we need them coming back and being here on a regular basis. So come on out and cheer on the Cards because they need it.
Fans ask for a good product. We have a great product right now. So
not sure about that yet.
I am.
But
we have
we're moving in that direction.
Do we have a great product? Yeah! All right. Coach, well, we'll see you Saturday, 3 o'clock.
We'll see you.
All right. The Coach Pete Rossomando Show again. Thank you, everybody, for coming out here to the patio at the Rec Center. We'll be back here on next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Also, we'll have our homecoming game for you on Saturday afternoon. That's a 2:30 airtime and a 3 o'clock kickoff. Join us for Lamar football for Coach Pete Rossomando.